Good morning, prepper people, and welcome to another episode of The Prepared Ranch. Today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about water. Water. And I don't mean water like you get out of a green pond. There are fish in there, by the way, but they're tough to see sometimes because the green pond, we got to do a little algae work. But you don't want to be drinking that in a SHTF situation, so there's multiple different ways to go about having water. We have a well, which is off over in the distance over here. You can kind of see it through the growth. We also have city water here, but that's turned off at the moment, so we're running all off the well. And just in case the well breaks, we also have Rainwater Recapture. So this section here, we're just capturing off this piece of roof right up here. So this piece of roof that goes all the way across and comes down. And as you can see, we got a little bit of rain yesterday, so some of the filters need to be cleaned out. So you can see that filter up there, and that's got a little bit of schmutz in it. And what that does is there's actually two screens on top of that. You got the first screen, which is kind of a coarse screen, which catches all your big stuff, the stuff that would normally be floaties. And then down just below that, just before it goes into the pipe, is a much finer screen, which captures more of the fine stuff. And that system's pretty good, but it's not perfect. And then it goes into this big 2,700 gallon tank here, which is made by Enduraplast. I don't know if you can see that. Boom, Enduraplast. 2,700 gallon tank. And you can see it's marked with all the how many gallons you have in there at any given time. The beauty of this tank is it's actually a real well tank, so it's designed to hold water and to keep it good, which means it doesn't allow very much sunlight to come through, which keeps the algae, as you saw over there in our pond, from blooming. Now it comes out through here. Now there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do rainwater recapture. I mean, another way that you can do it is with IBC totes and set those up to capture through a gutter. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can try to filter out the water. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Now this one here, we just did a straight, that one filter up the top there filters the water before it comes into here, and that's it. Now we happen to have another tank right there. Look at that. And this tank is identical to the first tank, 2,700 gallons. So yes, we have a total of 5,400 gallons of rainwater recapture. This tank we're capturing from two sections of roof. So we're capturing from that section of roof over there and this section of roof right here, right above us. You still have the same filter there. Does exactly the same thing, but this one comes in, goes across this pipe and goes to this pipe, which comes down, down, and comes out right here. Now why would I do that? Well, this is what's called a first flush system. So all the little bits and heavy bits like sand and stuff that comes off of these two sections of roof that doesn't get captured by that filter will come through here and fill up in here, sink to the bottom, and hopefully stay at the bottom. And as this fills up with all your sand and all the first flush water, this is what they call this, is a first flush system, and then the water starts to flow across this line here and down into the tank. And once it comes down to the tank, you got the exact same setup with the overflow. If we ever get enough rain for it to actually overflow, it is going to come out down here. You see we got a screen on there to prevent critters from getting inside there. We don't want critters. And this overflow goes up and comes out up there. Now to get the water out of here, we just have basically a normal hose bib set up down here, which you can open up and water comes out. Look at that. We don't want to waste it. Precious resource. We are in the desert after all. Now, to get the water out of there and use it, I have a system which I'll show you in just a second. And I'm back. Okay. This is what I use to get the water out of the tanks. This is what's called a shallow well pump. And basically this is set up just like a well pump on a well, where you have the pump on the top and you have a pressure tank on the bottom. And it's self-regulated pressure switch. So what I would do is just hook up a hose into the inlet side, which is right here. Hose goes in here from the tank, comes out here to whatever I want to use it for. What I can do with this is I can actually run another hose from that, and if I turn off all the water from the well and turn off all the water from the street, just in case there needs to be, you know, if there's a SHTF situation and we can't use the water, the well's broken, we can plumb these tanks into a spigot, which is right here, and back pressure the house. This has a pressure switch that'll automatically keep the pressurized end at 35 psi, just like your well does. So in case the power goes out and the well doesn't work, although we do have it hooked up to our battery system, which we have, and we'll talk about another time, but give you a little sneak peek. Yeah, 3 power walls. And of course the car is also charged. But in case the power does go out for some reason, or the well breaks, or we can't use city water, we can actually get water out of these tanks and run it in through our shallow well system here and pump it back into the house. And that should do it. That'll keep us with water. So between the water, all the solar panels that you can see off in the distance over there, and all the food storage and everything else that we have, that's why we like to think of ourselves as the prepared ranch. I think that's all I have for you for today. Another time we'll come over and we'll talk about all those solar panels, and we'll talk about all those power walls, and we'll you know, take some questions down below. And if you like what you saw here, please like, subscribe, and we'll get more content to you. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great day.